Lopez Obrador guarantees sufficient resources to search for missing persons. President Andrés Manuel Lopez Obrador reported that the necessary budget has been authorized for the search of 40,000 disappeared persons and the identification of 26,000 bodies that remain in forensic facilities throughout the country. During the reinstallation of the National Search System in the Treasury Hall of the National Palace, he said that the resources will be unlimited and will come from the savings result from the government of austerity that he heads. There is no official ceiling. We are doing an austere government without luxuries, and the savings will go to this just cause, he remarked. For this year, the budget of expenditures of the Federation has allocated 400,791 pesos for the National Commission of Search, of which 50% will be destined to the tasks of search in the states of the Republic that have the local commission search where they are already integrated. The government reaffirmed the commitment of the government of Mexico to support the families of the victims of disappearance and established three priorities for this purpose. First, the consolidation of identification of bodies. To face the forensic emergency in the country, it is necessary to create a system and a National Institute of Forensic Identification. Secondly, the President set September as the deadline for the establishment of state search commissions in 32 states, given that 47 days after the announcement of the plan to implement the general law on the disappearance of persons, only 8 local commissions have been integrated. Some states are already doing it, and we have to acknowledge that they have already taken this initiative. Now we are going to act in a coordinated manner, he said. He undertook to lead in 3 months the evaluation of the implemented strategies. In 3 months, we are going to meet again. I will also be with you to evaluate, to know how we move forward, he remarked. He argued that the disappearance represents the saddest and most painful inheritance of neoliberal politics and diagnosed this problem as a more serious issue than corruption and impunity. He affirmed that it is necessary to act with urgency, to work with absolute conscience and responsibility to attend this problem. Never again such regrettable situations as having the bodies in trucks crossing the streets. It is dantesque and inhuman, he said. The President reaffirmed his promise to face insecurity and violence from the promotion of development and opportunities for study and work, but not by using force. At the same time, he said that as Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, he will never give the order to repress the people. He stressed that the National Guard is in the process of shaping the commitment to regulate the use of the force and respect of human rights. He pointed out that previous governments went to the extreme of facing violence with more violence because they failed to comply with the country and neglected it. Regarding the figures of criminal incidents, said that they have been reduced considerably, as in the case of fuel theft, and acknowledged that there are still pending issues, so it will strengthen the permanent work to give security and welfare to Mexicans. The Undersecretary of Human Rights, Migration and Population, Alejandro Encinas, of the Ministry of the Interior, explained that the National Search System should establish policies and procedures among all governments orders for the search, location and identification of missing persons and not located persons, as well as for the prevention, investigation and punishment in the case of these crimes. Under the ownership of Dr. Carla Quintana, will guarantee the National Registry of Missing Persons, the National Forensic Data Bank, the National Registry of Unidentified and Unclaimed Defaulters, the National Registry of Graves, the Administrative Registry of Detention, the improvement of alerts of Amber Alerts and ALBA Alerts, and the establishment of a protocol homologate search throughout the country. It will have to coordinate with authorities for the operation of the unique system of information technology and information for the treatment and the use of information for these searches. It will evaluate the application of the homologated searching protocol and the public policies implemented, as well as the National Search Program and the National Exhumation and Forensic Identification Program, and dictate guidelines for the participation of family members. The Undersecretary highlighted the tables for dialogue and work with the relatives of the victims of forced disappearance in various parts of the country. The search brigades in the states of Colima, Guerrero, Tamaulipas, and Veracruz, and the inauguration of the Forensic Pantheon in the state of Mexico as a result of the search for people in the first 100 days of government.